Here's a quick, satisfying lunch that you can make for your large family in under an hour. But first, the question of the day, lemon or lime squeezers? Is this the correct way or this way? Watch till the end and we'll show you the best way. Hello fellow supermoms, it's Rosa. If you're like me, juggling life with 5 kids, you know the kitchen is both our battlefield and our sanctuary. Every day it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, a never-ending food fiesta. But come weekend, we deserve a break, right? And that's why I've decided to make a very quick lunch that feeds the whole crew, and best of all, there's enough for dinner too. Most of the time, unless they're really, really hungry. The kids usually like to help cook, so I have Mercy here chopping up and stealing a bite of some pepper. And today we're just going to make something really simple and really delicious together. On our menu today, we have a very quick and easy curry that you can make with leftovers, which I'm going to use, and we're also going to make a quinoa. This week I decided to get kind of adventurous. I went for some shallots or shallots instead of an old onion. I remember when I was in school in Switzerland studying hotel management, I went into cooking, and since we trained in a very classical French style cooking, there was a lot of shallots or shallots used. And also growing up in Southeast Asia, I saw a lot of shallots being used in lots of curries. So I decided to use this time. It makes the food taste so good and so buttery. I have one pot with onions, shallots, and ginger for the curry, and you can use garlic as well. And the other pot, I just have some peppers, which I'm going to add a few more ingredients to later for quinoa. If you've seen most of our videos, we like to teach our kids young to cook. So I have Mercy here chopping up some celery, which we're going to use for both the quinoa and the curry. And we've also added some carrots for sweetness in both pots. Now, this is a very quick and easy tip for those who are cooking large meals like this. Cut carrots, onions, and celery in bulk because you can use it in a curry, a Chinese dish, a soup, in anything really. It just adds a very delicious foundation of flavors. Here I've also chopped up very finely, very small pieces of Swiss chard. I also add a little bit of kale as well, and I'm going to put that into the pot where we are cooking the quinoa. Onto the quinoa, we have soaked the quinoa overnight, and this is also a good tip. Soaking quinoa overnight removes bitterness and enhances its nutty flavor. Plus, it cooks quicker and it's easier to digest. I have Grace rinsing and just washing the quinoa really quick, and then I have Isaiah here just seasoning the quinoa pot for me. Once it is all nice and rinsed and drained, we are going to put it into the pot, all of it as much as possible. Try not to make a mess here. And then we will add the spices and cook it a little bit longer until it's done. Moving on to our lentils for our curry as well. We soak all of our lentils and dry beans as well, and this is the same thing. It slashes cooking time, it aids in digestion, and really helps your body absorb nutrients better. Can you spot the sprouts? Now this is going to be used for our curry, so Mercy here is just going to empty this whole big thing of lentils in our curry pot. And to make this curry so delicious and easy, we're going to use our Thai kitchen red curry paste. This is made of such very simple ingredients, including chili peppers, garlic, lemongrass, coriander root, all delicious stuff, and it's vegan as well. It does say that it is hot, but really it is not hot at all. We're going to use one little bottle here for the whole pot of curry. On to some seasonings. We are going to season our quinoa with, really, you can use any seasonings you want. I really like to use ancho chili powder, some smoked paprika, Italian seasoning in this, some onion powder as well, and if you have garlic, you can definitely use garlic. We stopped using as much garlic now just because I have a blood condition that really causes anemia, and garlic is a blood thinner. In our last video, we did cook with some lion's mane, some beautiful lion's mane and oyster mushrooms, and I didn't waste the little roots, so I decided to make some mushroom broth for some umami-ness. This is the perfect time to add some of that flavor in here, so I'm just going to use 2 containers of mushroom broth. If you want to see that mushroom video on how I made this, I will have the link down below. We love to incorporate a whole variety of vegetables that we can get, but because we are a large family, we like to keep things on a budget as well. So cabbage is definitely one of our budget-friendly staple vegetable that we have every single week. And cabbage is one of those vegetables that are so versatile, you can put it in literally anything that you are cooking. Like I said in the beginning, this is also a very good time to use leftovers in this curry. So I have some leftover lentil curry that I made during the week. And then I'm also going to add some leftover potato and cabbage soup. If you have some roasted vegetables, throw them on in here. If you have like a cabbage slaw, throw it on in here as well. We added some water. We're going to cover it with our lid and we're going to just cook that down until it is nice and tender. Look at this delicious quinoa. We have added a little bit of water and we're going to steam it a little bit. We're going to also put the water in. We're going to stir it around, put the lid on and cook it down. I planned on serving the curry with some Pottie noodles or just rice noodles. This is what I use. And to prepare this, the best way is to just soak it in some hot water if you can. So we're going to open up these packages and we are going to plop them into a pot of hot water. We don't want to cook this on like a pasta because you're going to overcook it. So this is the best way I find, is to just soak it. If I could just get this package opened. As you can see, I did struggle a little bit. I got the scissors and I got the job done. We're gonna put this in a pot, but then I realized, okay, I don't think I was being wise with this, so I ended up using a bigger bowl here to just make it a lot easier and much more efficient. Alrighty, cool. After making a little bit of a mess on the floor, I am going to make sure that all the noodles are in that hot water. I want to make sure it's submerged well. You can actually add a little bowl just to keep it down a little bit. It will soften and be pliable in about, I would say, leave it for about 20-30 minutes. By this time, the curry is almost done. It was cooking for about 20 minutes or so, and the quinoa looks like it is done as well. We like to season up as we cook, so Trey over here is just adding a little bit more pizzazz to the quinoa. I am finishing off our curry with a can of coconut milk. You can technically use more coconut milk if you like it creamier. I actually ended up thinking that I should have added more coconut milk and a little bit more water just to make this curry more liquid, because as the lentils cooked, it kind of thickened up the curry and it just wasn't as saucy as I was planning. But you know what? After tasting it, it was still really, really delicious, and I just left it as is right now. Seasoned it with some salt. And Trey over here is adding a little bit more paprika, ancho chili powder, and look at how pliable these noodles are after soaking for a little bit. You can see how soft they are, and up close you can kind of see that it is not cooked all the way and it's not going to fall apart in the noodle dish. Once it is soft and pliable, we are going to drain it. You don't need to rinse it. You can rinse it if you would like to, but I don't find the need to. We're going to drain this well, and then we're going to put it in our curry pot. Back to the question of the day, the lime and lemon squeezer. We found that using it this way is the best way to get the most juice out of your lemons and limes. It just works way better. So let's try to fit all these noodles into this pot of curry. Now, I definitely should have used a bigger pot, but we will use what we have and do what we gotta do to get it done. If I used a larger pot, I could have definitely added some more water and coconut milk to this just to make it a little bit more saucy. And I'm just gonna slowly mix around these noodles just to get every single noodle coated with this delicious curry sauce. Now, because the noodles are not fully cooked, it's going to cook a little bit in the curry. So we're going to keep the stove on at maybe a low or a medium. Slowly cook this. You can cover it a little bit if needed, and we're going to just let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then you'll have the perfect consistency or the perfect noodle texture that is not going to fall apart on you. I did end up adding about a cup of water to this curry. You can adjust it however you would want to. We're going to then just keep cooking it, adding what you think is needed. Make sure the noodles are nice and tender. I did cover it, and we're gonna cook it for about 5 minutes here, just until the noodles are done. Lunch is served. Look how much noodles there are. This is gonna be such a delicious filling dish. This curry is protein packed. It is yummy. It is so filling. You could probably make this in under 30 minutes if you have all your vegetables prepped already and pre-chopped for the week. We usually cut all of our vegetables on the day of just because we cook every single meal anyway. I did end up making dinner at the end of the night, but this really did fill up all of our kids' bellies plus a little bit more for dinner. Here's your bowl. We're gonna just serve it with a little bit of lime here just to add a little bit of that zing. I also like to add pickled jalapenos. It was so good. Let's have lunch. The kids already served themselves with all of their bowls. They've gone off to eat theirs, and I have a quiet moment with Trey here. I'm gonna give this a delicious bite. Just watching this clip, my mouth is watering because the curry was just that good. Trey is in the background and he's eating a bowl of quinoa. I just remember this being so yummy. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that we inspired you to make this really simple and easy filling and economical curry dish for you and your large family. If you love watching large family, plant-based, whole food cooking videos, subscribe to our channel. We would love to have you in our community. Now, Trey and I are gonna go and enjoy our lunch in a warm bedroom, and we will see you on the next video. Bye guys.